Hello and welcome to the BlockSolid podcast. And I'd like to welcome Jason Fishman as my special guest. I'm curious to know what came first, the acronym or the word DNA?
That chicken or the egg scenario, it basically evolved at the same time. And a lot of what we do is digital advertising, leveraging audience data.
So what do you consider to be the DNA?
My portfolio in ad tech before this consisted of top 100 advertisers, Fortune 500 type companies. And I have to say, it's far more exciting, far more rewarding for me to be focusing at this level. We mapped it out to be that group. And the three core values we set on, which we found many complaints around when talking to founders about their past agencies, that to me is a far more productive conversation for everyone involved. There's an educational process, so not everyone has to be a marketer to fully get this.
So you worked with hundreds of clients in the space of fundraising. What makes you so successful?
I don't want to say we're lucky to get capital, but in many cases, groups do not. So I could see a lot of companies going through those steps and getting nothing. So when hearing about a cleaner version, a more effective route to get capital, I was immediately excited. Meanwhile, we could go after exactly who we want. Those steps that we've taken give any client that we bring on a massive head start, to say the least. The point to that is more adoption of digital trends by groups all around the landscape in this industry has been a big change that I've seen. A lot of collaboration around that has been exciting too, where we'll get provided audience lists to target from some of these different type of firms. Retail investor explosion in 2020 has really had a positive impact on these private equity deals. And similar to what we were seeing last week with Wall Street Bets and Robinhood and GameStop, not to have any type of political perspective on it, but just showing the power of the crowd with the social proof from an industry expert and being able to leverage the audience with social sharing, bringing them in for the next round for a second conversion, have all been very valuable insights we've taken from those campaigns.
So these investors who came in the first round, they still weren't receiving any dividends or any fruit of their investment, right? And they still went on to invest in the second round, right? Kind of showing their belief.
That's correct. And Rayton is in an industry where the comparables are valued at much higher levels. And once they get their particle accelerator in action, once they activate some of their B2B relationships, their total value is going to be substantially higher than it is today. Many speculators have stated when doing the research.
I mean, that's part of what we're doing, right? Enabling investors to get liquidity in projects. Once the product reaches a certain stage, their valuation increases by a lot. So then you can exit, get some cash. And then next time there's a round, they're like, wow, these guys made me money. I'm going to invest in them again.
I think you guys are going to get a really strong response from that. Everything I've heard thus far has definitely raised my eyebrows, and I've been able to show the team we're excited about it. So I think that is the future, and having some close relationships with small real estate investors here in Los Angeles and having understanding for everybody to be able to participate in these type of deals, I think is really game changing.
What are some challenges for marketing there and in general in the crypto industry with respect to regulation and limitations of social and ad networks as well?
But just to give you an idea, there's a lot of question as soon as that word is mentioned. You heard me say digital assets earlier. I've heard different speakers say things like the first rule of enterprise blockchain is you don't mention the word blockchain or don't mention the word cryptocurrency. That's been a theme for some of our clients where they want to talk about the product without saying the word. They'll later bring into it because you want to show value. You want to start the conversation before allowing the audience to try to categorize what it may be. But I've seen everything work. We also run ads that say, cryptocurrency buying, Bitcoin buying, and talking about their value proposition. So it's across the board. My whole philosophy towards marketing, I summarize in 3 words: test, optimize, scale.
Can you share with us what you consider to be your greatest achievement with one of those companies, or maybe several, if you'd like?
Sure. It would be hard to hone down into one campaign. We've worked on Reg A Plus campaigns in the cannabis industry, CBD, that have surpassed different records for Reg A plus campaigns. We work with groups post-funding at times as we have this data, and we're targeting, in many cases, user owners, whether that's B2B, whether that's B2C, whether that's just relationships with accredited investors and strategic partnerships that it can really grow the projects from there.
So it's kind of all connected, right? The ads are connected to the other sources, and the other sources are connected and fueling the ads.
Exactly. In that scenario I just laid out, all of those channels with the right conversion window could look to attribute the investment to the organic or paid advertising.
What inspired you
and was told, hey, this is really educational stuff. This is valuable. This is insightful. You should publish it. So, really just an avenue for thought leadership. Want to position us on an ongoing basis at the forefront of investor acquisition. And it's given us something to market for ourselves.